Alrighty, Ruin Choo to you and all my nobodies now watching out there. We're back on this bullshit, and with the scary Kadir, who is saying, and who do you run with, Howard? Run's house? Whose house? Run's house. Just kidding. No, Howard the Duck. I don't know. The midnighters. Also, he loves beer. He still looks pretty good considering what they said. Kind of about him getting pretty well beaten. An Anarch Coterie, my prince. Too fast. An Anarch Coterie, my prince, active for some time now, though from what this one told me, the name is only the only legacy the group has kept over the years. Great. I see. Indeed. Hey, Prince, I didn't mean it. I didn't. No, I didn't. A loud crack makes some guest audibly gasp as Kadir's slap dislocates the man's jaw. Spray of blood creates something like an abstract art piece on the floor. It seems a bit derivative. It's very it's like I prefer his older work. It's just like I would just show up and do that. I'm not a Malkavian. A Malkavian would do that. I'd be like, seems derivative. I prefer his older work. Just to be a hipster and an asshole. Like, just to do it. This one is guilty of threatening a member of the Camarilla and claiming a domain without the prince's approval. That alone would be enough to pass swift judgment, but he is also Anarch scum. And for my part, I personally don't think that Anarchs are scum, but the Camarilla, the Anarchs, and the Sabbat have their own thing, and realistically, he really shouldn't have just been like, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna wreck your shit. Like, that's not a good move as an Anarch. He should have just sort of... They have to have their own managed territory, and nobody really owns that area. If the Camarilla wanted it, they would have it. They choose to leave it as a sort of... The Anarchs can be there. It's like, this guy's like, hey, fuck you, it's our place, buddy. Fucko. That's not a good move, my prince. There can be only one verdict. Final death. Do your duty, Sheriff. Jesus! Okay, well, I mean, he did try to mess me up and stuff. I just don't really... Look, I'm sure this guy's an asshole and he totally deserves it, but I don't think his crime is fitting of the punishment. He may deserve this as a person, but the crime he committed, I don't feel like it fits, you know? Unless, of course, somebody would like to play at being a good Samaritan like our dear Miss Langley a few nights ago. I'll raise my hand and be like, hey, I can forgive, I can forget, we can move on. The look the prince serves you, and Sophie is a cool jest. Sophie takes it gracefully, smiling and slipping her arm under yours in a strange public show of affection. Nobody says anything, and I don't think I have the power to do anything. The vampire named Howard jumps to his feet and makes for the window. No. That was it there, Howard. Howard, terrible name for a vampire, but you're definitely done now. Like, you're gonna get 86 immediately. I'm gonna grab Howard. No, I'll use my powers. Fuck it. In a split second, you make your choice. You focus your you know, you dash forward and grab Howard by the back of his jumpsuit, pulling. I hope. Fuck. I think I just cemented his death as opposed to stopping him. You expect some resistance, but fine, you don't have to worry about it when a swift cut set. Oh, and here we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe. And he's probably gonna, depending on how old he is, he'll ash or whatever. Kadir standing between you and the window, his sword drawn and an ugly smile on his face. I probably am way too close to that sword. Kadir, thought we were cool, dude. You don't... I feel like they didn't write Kadir outside of expecting us as the player to fail. Like, there's only one Kadir. It doesn't matter how good or bad we are, Kadir's Kadir. And it's like, there's only a little bit where it's like, oh, well, he feels a little bad about it. Well, Tobias, you're... Okay, come on then. There we go. Your eagerness is laudable, if unnecessary. That Howard fellow couldn't have hoped to escape his fate facing Kadir's expertise. However, I've made a note of this show of loyalty on both of your and your patron's accounts. It's like, dude, where are you going? In all honesty, I wanted him to stop and not get his head like all that. But I don't think the punishment fits the crime. It's just an anarch, dude. Yeah, he was an asshole. Rough him up a bit and send him back and be like, hey, this place is free range, you know, don't try to claim it as your own, or we'll fucking kill you. Now you have to, like, send back something, and you gotta make it like a whole Godfather thing. I would like to thank Miss Langley for bringing this anarchy thug and to my and Kadir's attention. I assume all have found the verdict satisfactory. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. It's already done. He tried to bolt, and he got... That's what it would have happened. Like, that's the whole point of this. It's like, well, if I tried to bolt, that's what it would have happened to me. It's a rhetorical question, and everybody here knows it. Then I consider tonight's meeting concluded. Good evening to all of you. She steps out of the room, and you see that many of the guests move to do the same. Sophie seems to be conversing with somebody, a serious-looking man with a trench coat, about what transpired. You probably have the time to strike up a conversation of your own, too. Kadir Asmai is still here, for one, but clearly getting ready to leave. Well, I'd like to talk to him. Both Larson and Arturo seem to have stayed around too. One is moping around, the other is chatting with the retaining attendants as though nothing happened in the meantime. A man was decapitated. I would like... I don't... His name is Robert Paulson. No, I don't really care. Thomas Arturo... I'm gonna try to talk to Kadir. Like... I want to, like, build that. It seems to have improved, so you decided you won't get a better shot at saying your piece, so is sheathing a sword as you approach him. It's like, this is the best chance I'm gonna have to being like, hey, dude, what's up? That's it. This is the best chance. He notices you just before he turns his face. Oh, god damn it. Let's go back. He notices you just before his face turns from a melancholic frown back to his regular predatory smirk. He seems to have caught... You seem to have caught him in a moment of reflection. What is it, Tobias? I wanted to thank you for bringing here. Is everything alright?
Are you okay, dude? Like, I know you just cut off a guy's head. How you feeling? You want to check in? Like, that's impressive work tonight. Although I should say, I wanted to thank you for bringing me here. Like, fuck all your work and all that. Just, hey, that's what she said to do. I should do it. For giving me a chance. Like, dude, I appreciate that. An emotion creeps into Kadir's face that you haven't seen the sheriff exhibit yet. Is that gratitude? It's fleeting, only for a moment, gone in the blink of an eye. It was trying on my nerves, and you were still far away from proving that it was the right to do so. Don't think that few kind words will let you off. Like, hey, that's all good, bro. Still, I have to admit, I was surprised as the prince when you jumped at the opportunity to stop that anarch from escaping. I was sure Valerie would have beat you to it. Who's Valerie? Honestly, I didn't want to do that. I really did want to be like, I don't think this fits. Because I'm kind of a Camarilla lapdog, and I don't really like that. Like, that whole action is not... If there's nothing else, I'll be taking my leave. Why are you so mean? You enjoy being sheriff. Can you tell me something about Sophie? I'm gonna go with, can you tell me something about Sophie? Even though that could screw me over. But I get the feeling they have a relationship and there's something there. I was wondering if you could tell me something about Sophie. She talks a lot about the Camarilla and other things, but I barely know anything about her. Oh, I can tell you something about Sophie. Something she wouldn't want you to hear. Like the fact she's manipulative and vindictive. But then again, which of us kindred aren't? Fair. Fucking fair. You want to know more about Sophie's past? Ask her. She's unlikely to tell you the truth, though. I'm quite sure she'll never told me, and despite our previous history. Wink, wink. Nod, nod. Nudge, nudge. Bob's your uncle. Hubba, hubba. Awooga. That's what we do, fledgling. We exist for centuries, and we lie to our families, our friends, our lovers, to our kindred, our sires, our child, or to ourselves. He picks up the sword and turns towards the stair. Did he drop it, or he just... That seems dumb. I don't like that. He picks up the sword. Did he put it down? He wouldn't do that. That doesn't make any sense. But okay, whatever. Good night. He might like adjust or sheath or something the sword, but he wouldn't need to pick it up. Good night, and watch yourself. You've been messed up by my batting average, so I'll be sure to keep a close eye on you. See, that's my thing. I was really well behaved. I do remember playing and not being so well behaved as a Bruja. This time I was like, tip top, all that. And he's still a dick. That sucks, because I feel like I deserve a little bit of nicerness. As opposed to him being like, I still want to kill you. It's like, I didn't get any strikes, dude. You gave me a good Yelp review. I was still gonna die anyway without Sophie, but still. Without final threat, he leaves the gallery. It's right about when Sophie also ends her conversation and walk over to you. Not walks, but walk. Interesting evening, wasn't it? Come, Gregory's waiting downstairs. Well, we wouldn't want to keep Gregory waiting. I helped the guy get beheaded today, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I don't think he deserved it. He was an asshole. I was the one he fucking did some crime against. I just wanted him to stop. Maybe I shouldn't have used celerity? I don't know. Well, it's already done, so whatever. She seems, and people seem to like it. So she seems preoccupied with not a talkative mood. It's an awkward ride back to the city. This time you arrive at another building, just 2 streets across from your apartment. She brings you upstairs through a very nice lobby and a luxurious-looking hall into her domain. Wait. Oh. Only 2 streets across. Please, have a seat. I shall be right with you. Are you going to slip into something more comfortable? Giggity giggity. No, probably not. And honestly, you'd probably just black widow my ass. But I am noticing that portrait in the back. Not the one beneath the chandelier, but to the left of it. I feel like I recognize, like there's a part of my brain that's like, that's a thing from somewhere. That's very helpful. You take in your surroundings. The apartment is like a gallery, an old school smoking room that you've seen in some period piece once. A Nouvelle Riche living room, meticulously combed together. Nouvelle Riche? I don't know. I feel like that picture, I've definitely seen it from somewhere, and it's like from something. I don't know who it is. I think the first thing my brain goes to is the woman that Betty Boop is based on. But she looks like she's naked or like burlesque. She also looks like she's like, I don't know, but I can't really tell because it's pretty far away and indistinct. Apologies. Old habits die hard. Clearly some stick with you even after death. Such as smoking. You have to actually put out effort to smoke. In Vampire the Masquerade in the World of Darkness, you actually have to make effort to do it, to breathe and stuff, and it's one of those things that if it's cold outside, a lot of times a character will be like, I'm going to smoke to make it seem like I'm alive. Because it's easier than, you know, like, if you went outside with somebody and you're like, God, it's fucking cold, and there's like that little puff of air and, you know, vapor that creates from the coldness from the heat of your breath in the cold air, and the other person didn't have that, you'd be like, naturally, the fuck, you know, that would be a problem. So smoking is a way to sort of get around that, and I feel like in New York it gets cold, so that would make sense to do. She drags on her cigarette and breathes out. Breathes. How's she doing that? Can you do that? Yes, you can. It's honestly not that hard to sort of reanimate your organs for a little bit. Not for breathing, anyway. But the problem is, again, oh, you can breathe. Most people might not, you know, most people don't notice whether you're breathing or not. For real, if I were to walk into a normal place and wearing normal clothes, just hold my breath for a long period of time, continuously, extendedly. I mean, obviously not in a way, because I'm not a vampire and I would pass out if I didn't breathe at all. But, you know, I don't think anybody would really notice because clothes are sort of whatever, but the coldness is something people would notice. That's the problem, is that you can't create heat breath without blush of life or something like it. Oh yes, you might not know, it takes some practice, but you can keep smoking if you'd like. Other things too, experiment, you might surprise yourself. Other things too, giggity giggity. waka waka, hubba hubba, like that whole thing. But I did not bring you here to show off. This is where I rest these nights. That door in the back, the bedroom, similar to yours. I have servants and bodyguards, in addition, of course. I brought you here because I need you to trust me. When I told you before that I needed your best behavior to uphold my good standing with the court, I meant it, but that's not the whole story. I have your interest in mind, too. That's why I've given you my own haven. That's why I'm trying to teach you how to navigate this new reality, but you need to trust me or else this won't work. You can come here whenever you feel like asking me something, when you're in trouble too, though I hope that won't happen often. I would ask you to come here when you wake up tomorrow. I'll have something to discuss with you. I'll be here. Trust needs to be earned. She saved your fucking life. Fuck you, dude. Why not discuss it right now? That's the way I would fucking react. But my character is gonna be like, you know what, at this point I'm a good little lapdog or whatever. You know, let's just roll with it. And honestly, that's sort of the VtM way, you know, like, doesn't mean I am a lapdog, I'm playing the part. I'll be here. Okay, I'll come over first thing tomorrow night. I appreciate that. That silence again. There's definitely something on Sophie's mind tonight, but she doesn't seem eager to share it with you just yet. Let her process it, let her deal with it. Like, if she wanted to say something, she could have said it. She would have. Vampires are direct when they want to, and they are indirect when they don't want to. Just let them do their thing, unless you can control it and make them do a thing that you want them to do. I'm leaving for another visit. Come downstairs with me. I'll give you a lift. What, 2 blocks? I could just walk. A quick trip, a promise that you'll show up tomorrow, and some polite goodbyes later. You open the door to your haven and gather your thoughts. It's exciting in a way, being dragged deeper and deeper into the secret society and its rules. Whatever Sophie has planned for you, it's bound to teach you more about this thing you have become. You sink into your vampiric sleep with just a sliver of hope. It's a welcome change. I'm gonna end it now, cause, yeah.